Let's be real. If you're a developer, you know the struggle. You've built something awesome on your local machine, but actually getting it in front of someone else, that can be a whole other battle. So today we're going to dig into a tool that tackles this problem head-on, Ngrok, your very own personal bridge to the web.
But first, let me ask you a question I know every single developer has bumped into. You've got this amazing thing running perfectly on localhost. Now what? How do you securely and quickly share that with the rest of the world?
And look, this isn't some abstract what-if scenario, right? This is the daily grind. You've got to show a client a live demo, but a full deployment? No way. Or maybe you're trying to test a webhook from a service like Stripe or GitHub, and they need a public URL to talk to. Or you're just trying to get some quick feedback on a design tweak from a teammate. These are the roadblocks we hit all the time.
And that's where Ngrok comes in. Think of it as your own personal, self-hosted alternative to popular tools like Ngrok. It puts you completely in the driver's seat. It'll expose your local ports, handle all the HTTPS stuff for you automatically, give you this amazing dashboard right in your terminal to inspect traffic, and the best part, it all runs on your very own virtual private server.
And this right here, this is the key. It's not just about a cool tool, it's about a philosophy that's getting more and more popular with developers: control. The whole idea behind pGrok is ownership. By running it on your own VPS, your data isn't passing through some third-party service. You're not stuck with their limits or sudden pricing changes. It is, quite literally, your own personal tool.
Now, you hear full control and self-hosted, and you might think, oh boy, this is going to be a headache to set up, but no. Absolutely not. The setup is actually designed to be incredibly fast. Let's just walk through it real quick. Seriously, it's just 3 steps. First, you hop into your DNS provider and set up a wildcard A record. All that means is you're telling it to point any subdomain you want to your server's IP. Easy. Second, you run one single install script on your local machine. And this script is smart. It finds your SSH key and copies the server setup command right to your clipboard. How cool is that? Finally, you just SSH into your server, paste that command, and hit enter. That's it. You're done.
And what do you get for those, 5 minutes of setup? Pure simplicity. From now on, whenever you want to share a local project that's running on port 4000, you just type pGrok myapp 4000. And bam! Instantly you get a secure public URL that tunnels right to your machine.
Okay, so it's simple to set up, it's easy to use, but you know us developers, we can't just leave it at that. We have to know, how does the magic actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look.
What's so great about Ngrok is that it's not some kind of mysterious black box. Nope. It's just a really smart combination of 4 solid, well-understood pieces of tech. The Caddy web server, good old SSH reverse tunnels, a slick little Python script, and a client built with OpenTUI. First up is Caddy. Think of Caddy as the bouncer at the front door of your server. Its main job is to handle all that complicated HTTPS nonsense. So when you create a new tunnel for, say, myapp.yourdomain.com, Caddy automatically goes out, gets a TLS certificate for it, and gets it all configured. It even has fallbacks to 0SSL just in case, so you're always covered. Okay, so Caddy's got the traffic, but how does it get from your server across the internet all the way back to your laptop? Well, here's the really clever part. It uses something you probably already use every single day, a secure SSH reverse tunnel. There's no custom VPN or weird tunneling software to install. It just uses a battle-tested, super secure technology that you already know and trust.
And if Caddy is the bouncer and SSH is a secret passage, then this little Python script, well, that's the brains of the whole operation. It's the traffic controller. When you start a pGrok session, this script dynamically tells Caddy, hey, any traffic for this new subdomain, send it down this specific SSH connection. And when you hit Control-C to stop, it cleans that route right up. It's what makes the whole system so dynamic.
All right, so we've talked setup, we've talked architecture. Let's get to the fun part, the part you'll be looking at every day, your command center. So when you fire up pGrok, you're not just staring at a blinking cursor. You get this awesome terminal user interface, a TUI. You're not flying blind here. You can see your session status, your public URL, and even key connection stats like total requests and P50/P90 latency, which basically tells you how fast things are for the typical user and for the slower ones.
But the real killer feature, for me at least, is the scrollable, color-coded log of every single HTTP request that comes through. It's a full-on inspection dashboard right inside your terminal.
And remember that whole control thing we talked about? This is what it looks like in practice. The configuration is totally transparent. On your local machine, there's a simple little config file with your server details. And over on the server, you can go look at the caddy file and the Docker Compose files yourself. It's all automated, but absolutely nothing is hidden from you.
So, with all this power and control, is pGrok the perfect tool for every single person, every single time? Well, like any good piece of engineering, it comes with the classic trade-off: control versus convenience.
So let's put it all on the table, right? On one hand, the benefits are huge. You get full control and total privacy. There's no monthly subscription fee. You actually get to learn how all this stuff works under the hood, plus unlimited custom subdomains. But on the other side, there are some limitations to keep in mind. It's a single-user tool. Right now, it's just for Mac and Linux, and it doesn't have some of the more advanced features, like automatically reconnecting if your internet cuts out.
And really, this all gets boiled down to one perfect line from the project's own documentation: a personal tool, not multi-tenant. That just says it all. It isn't trying to be a huge commercial service. It was designed from the ground up for one purpose: to be your private, personal bridge to the web.
And, that leaves us with a much bigger question, doesn't it? Ngrok is more than just a clever tool. It's a statement. It's a fantastic example of a powerful, self-hosted solution. In a world where everything is a software as a service, it really makes you stop and ask, when is the control, the privacy, and the knowledge you gain from building and hosting your own tool truly worth the effort?